Okay, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. I do apologize for the technical difficulties that we were having there. I know you could see my screen couldn't hear me, so I appreciate y'all bearing through it and sticking with us. I know it's that crazy time of year. We've got a million and one things to do, so I really do appreciate everyone taking the time out of their busy schedules to join us today. We are super excited to be able to be joined by both Craig Renzitsky and Phil Mishler with National General. Just to give a little background, we've been doing a lot of business with National General on the short-term medical and ancillary side for a number of years now, and they have a really good Medicare supplement product that we wanted to add to our portfolio, and we're super excited to have them with us to go over that. Being that the climate of the industry has changed with COVID and all the things going on out there, where people may be more hesitant to meet people face to face, anything that we can do telephonically, it seems to be the way to go and a way to address what goes on. So, and unfortunately, when you're dealing with technology, something like what just happened this morning happens. But as you can see, we will work through it. And I'll tell you one thing, guys, that through my own personal experience, the carrier that has been more responsive than anyone else is usually National General. Anytime I've had an issue, a question in the past, they've been very responsive, very helpful, reliable information. If I needed to get stuff done, they get it done immediately. I know Philip Mishler has always been a great resource for me to contact if I needed anything. So we know that the product is strong, but also ease of doing business is a big player on who we decide to go with. So we are super excited to have them and be able to join them. But before I do hand it over, I'll show you what you guys were seeing on the screen. Now I'll actually be able to tell you what a little bit of that was about. We are going to be doing a large webinars coming up. So if you ever want to see what is coming up on our schedule, this is our website, messerfinancial.com. There's a little calendar here that has all of these highlighted things, and it'll tell you everything that's coming up as far as webinars. As you can see, this is today. So we have the National General here, Medicare Supplement, where you could register. We also have next week starts our ACA series, where the 16th I'll be doing a kickoff meeting to do an introduction to the ACA, and then the following week we have each carrier listed. Plus the 17th we're doing a full demo of our MyMFG enrollment tool. I highly recommend you guys checking that thing out. It is a game changer, and being that we're doing things more remotely, you're going to want to take advantage of that. Also wanted to show all of our agents out there that anything that you'll ever need to know really is through this agent resources tab. If you need to know AHIP certification, contracting status, events, calendar, this right here is our Messer Learning Center, where if you click on that, it'll show up all the different webinars that we've done recently and in the past. So if you've missed one or want to go back to watch one again that you've already watched before, you're more than welcome to. This is here for your own training. Please use it as much as you possibly can. Also wanted to show you we have quote tools for just about every product. So right here at the bottom it says quote tools. When I click on that, you'll see it has a bunch of different quoting tools. We've got an ACA quoting tool. This quoting tool here does Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, PDPs, hospital indemnity, final expense, and dental quotes. So this one's probably going to be the one that you use the most. And if I click on that, it's going to take me right to the quoting tool. There was a login screen. I'll sign out just so you can see what it looks like. It'll bring you to this screen. If you do not have an account already, just hit request account. We'll approve it within 24 hours. And then what you'll get is access to this tool, which will do all of those products, which National General is on here. So be sure to go in there, do a comparison, and show the difference and between the different carriers. So like I said, we are here to help, guys. We want to do everything that we can to make you successful, because our success depends on your success. So it does us no good to contract you if you're not successful. So please use us as much as you possibly can. Any resource that we have available, we will definitely give out to you. And if you ever need to contact anybody here in the office, there's always going to be somebody available Monday through Friday. And here's the phone number you can call. We have a producer support department. We have the marketing department. We have contracting, commissions, whatever you need. There's going to be somebody available to speak to. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. There is, as you saw, there is a chat tab where you can ask questions. We'll try to hold off on all of them till the very end so we can go over that. But make sure to ask anything that you want, because we are bringing the best in the business over to you. So with that, Craig, I'm going to hand this over to you, and I'm going to let Bobby go ahead and switch the screen so you can see it. And Craig, it's all yours. Take it.
All right, sounds great. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate that intro. And again, just thank you very much for having us here today. I think I'm just as excited as you guys are, if not more so. So again, thanks for your time and opportunity to be here with you guys. Can you see my screen okay, Micah?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, fantastic. Just wanted to make sure that nothing got switched around. So good morning. Welcome, everybody.
And
Micah
Craig,
stated,
I'm sorry, Craig. We actually don't see we see your screen, but it's the other screen. We just need to see your other one, the one with Nash.
I apologize. All right, let's
there
try
you go.
that.
Perfect.
Is that better?
Yep. Perfect.
All right, awesome. Perfect. Well, again, welcome you guys. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here and present to you about our National General Medicare supplement products, as well as some other ancillary senior dental vision hearing that we have launched in a few states here. So we've got some exciting things that we're going to be talking about here, and I again just am happy and excited to have the opportunity to speak with Micah and the great agents with Messer. So thank you very much for your time. Let's go ahead and just kind of dive into it. So today, this is just a brief overview of myself. Again, my name is Craig Rudzeski. I've been in the Medicare space for about 16, 17 years now. So I guess I know a little bit about Medicare, but I kind of started off in all walks of what Medicare is. Years ago was sales agent. Kind of worked my way up into sales leadership and management. I was originally at the carrier level. Spent a few years over there, then kind of bounced out into being a broker, independent agent, back into kind of the broker world, and then of course now back into of course a carrier role. And I can't say that I am more excited to be a part of National General as we speak right now than ever in anything else in my career. There's a lot of very exciting things going on, not only in the industry, but with National General specifically. And we're really kind of on the cusp of just about ready to become one of the nation's probably, if most competitive Medicare supplement and senior market specialists, if you want to say. That just is, I think, a perfect complement to what we're already doing on the under 65 side. Of course, we've got great and very strong short-term benefits, ancillary benefits, and now we're in the Medicare space. We've been here for about 3 years now, approximately, and looking for some great growth over the next couple of years. I currently reside in Dallas, Texas, but I'm originally from Southern California. Moved out here about 8 years ago for some job opportunity, and of course we love it. My family loves it, and my family is all still back in California. So if we ever want to go back and vacation and such, it definitely makes it that much easier because we don't have to pay for lodging and all the other expensive type things, right? Just kind of get the best of both worlds. So anyway, enough about myself. So today, just kind of planned on going over who National General is for those that don't already know. We'll touch a little bit on our 2020 landscape, some of our target markets where we've identified where we're hot, where we're not. We'll also talk briefly about more or less our strategy with our Medicare supplement program. We'll talk about some new products, some value adds, how you can quote and or do enrollment, and then of course agent and or member resources. Of course, as Micah was stating, one of our biggest strong points is the ability to act very nimbly, and I hope that is evident today. Of course, at any time throughout, of course, we'll hold questions till the end, but just wanted to call on that. Phil's a great guy. He is always there at whenever anybody needs anything, and I hope to replicate as well. We've got a strong team that's here to support you guys. Again, we recognize it's you that's out there on the street. It's you that's promoting our product. It's you that are out there kind of on the front lines, making sure that your clients are being taken care of. And if there is anything in your way, anything that we can do to further support that, we're not shy, and we're more than happy to dive in with our head first and see what we can do to help you out with that. So with all that being said, let's talk a little bit about National General. So National General is probably one of the largest companies that not many people are familiar with. We go kind of back and we chase our roots back to, of course, Anagon and some of these other, older companies back in the day. And it's brought us to where we are today. We are a very strong company with about 8,500 employees across the nation that are working to support, of course, you as the agents along with your clients. We're not on the Fortune 500 company, let's call it, or Fortune 1000. So I think we have a little bit of strength behind us there, and we are publicly traded on the NASDAQ as NGHC. And a lot of the comparative raters, you'll see us as National Health Insurance Company. And then in parentheses, it'll say National General. So as you are quoting our Medicare supplement programs, definitely look for National Health Insurance Company, and or in parentheses, look for National General. It's a little weird how they have it entered, but nonetheless, that's how you'll find us. I think we're a little secure at about $5 billion in revenue, so that keeps us definitely on the forefront there, and we are rated as A minus with AM Best. So again, just financially strong. We're not going anywhere, and if anything, we are just looking to grow and expand upon that. Back in 2017, we were rated as a Fortune 100 for the fastest growing organizations, and I think we've definitely accomplished that. We've been expanding a lot into a lot of different areas, obviously, Medicare supplement being one of those, as well as just the senior product and senior market overall. And we're currently insuring about 4 million people across the nation as we speak. Now, just to kind of call it out here briefly, we're looking at all of these attributes to National General, and of course, I hope this bodes to the strength and of course, what's gotten us here thus far. I'm sure most people have already heard, so I'll just kind of throw a little tidbit out there, but we are currently in negotiations with Allstate to acquire us as a company as a whole, and if anything, that's just going to springboard us into that next level. Of course, I say, National General is a large company, but we're probably one of the largest organizations and insurance companies that not many people are familiar with, and that's just because, as a company, we feel and that we would rather invest that money as opposed to doing huge commercials and all kinds of print and things like that we would rather empower and build up our agents. And of course, by doing so, that translates into just word of mouth business, getting the name out, etc. And that's all worked great for us historically. But of course, the acquisition with Allstate, provided everything goes through, which everything is looking very promising, will definitely springboard us into the next, and will make National General a household name. Once that acquisition, of course, is finalized, probably in Q1 of next year, we'll have all of that information. We'll definitely keep everyone apprised as that drops. But once that occurs, that now automatically kind of makes us a household name. And will just further support what we're looking to accomplish here in the next 5 years. So more to come, a lot of exciting things on the horizon, and we'll definitely make sure that we keep you guys apprised as that information comes available. So again, thank you for that. So let's talk about why National General Medicare Supplement. Of course, our Medicare Supplement programs are again, you hear a lot of talk about Medicare Supplement as a whole, and not being able to cover everything. I'd say that they're all kind of the alphabet soup, right? Plan A is an A, an F is an F, a G is a G, etc. But where you find, of course, the differences within the carriers is in how they administer their product, maybe some slight nuances throughout the different programs, etc. I think that we've got a rather unique approach to our Medicare supplement programs that definitely separate us here. So broad-based state approval. Just wanted to throw that out there. That in 3 years, about 3 years ago, if we were looking at a map, we would not be a name known in the Medicare supplement space. However, we've been able to accomplish quite a bit in the past few years, and we're now in 41 states across the nation. With that, we offer a unique discount program. So you hear a lot about a household discount, and of course, household discounts, are usually, they vary anywhere from 7, 6, 5%, etc. However, the household discount that most carriers offer is unique in the sense that it requires either a two-party application, meaning a husband and wife are applying at the same time for similar coverage with the same company, or maybe the spouse is already a member and now a later aging spouse is now applying for that same carrier's plan. With ours, it is a true roommate discount. And essentially, the roommate discount just lends to the fact that we don't require that there's a two-party app. We don't require that a family member is already a member of our plan. And then, of course, the other family member is now joining. Again, we don't require them to be even a family member, to be honest. In order for your client to obtain a 7% roommate discount, if they have somebody that's 50 years of age or older, that's living in their house for at least 1 year, you would be able to give them that 7% roommate discount or household discount, however you want to refer to it. So again, it's truly just as simple as that. We find that per some statistics that we've pulled, about 70%, about 70% of Medicare recipients across the nation will qualify for our roommate discount as it is, and that 7% can translate to anywhere from around $8 to $12 or $13 straight off the top of their premium. So it is a pretty decent amount. Obviously, that'll vary based off of market. Of course, what plan they're looking at, because the more that the rate is, or the less that the rate is, of course, that 7% is going to translate accordingly. But it's still a unique feature that we like to tout because it does separate us a little bit from some of the other competition. Now, Michael was talking earlier about COVID, and of course, this year just kind of throwing us for a loop. However, being a technology-based organization, very strong with technology, we've been able to kind of pivot very quickly and utilize some of our strengths in bringing a DocuSign signature to the Medicare supplement process, as well as a mother's maiden name signature option, or more traditionally known as a passphrase signature. Now, unfortunately, the passphrase and or mother's maiden name signature is not available in California. The state of California does not allow for those passphrase signature options. But we do still have the DocuSign signature process, as well as telephonic enrollments that you guys can lean on. So as we head into AAP, depending upon where you're located, depending upon, of course, how you're producing or conducting business, not sure if people are comfortable in doing face-to-face appointments yet or not. But if they are, of course, there's DocuSign in person. That makes it very easy for them to complete their applications. Or, of course, you can email it, or even easier is the mother's maiden name. Again, the mother's maiden name signature truly lends to a touchless application for your client. So, of course, we have a portal. I'll show you here in a few slides what that looks like. But you log into our Medicare supplement portal. You can run your quote through there, and if everything is still copacetic thereafter, you click on Start Application, and you just go through step by step. I'm sure it'll look very familiar to a lot of you. It's fairly intuitive, and of course, it's just a slick feature. And then, of course, adding the mother's maiden name signature on there just, again, allows you to complete that application with your client, hit Submit, and it's off and running. Now, due to some unique features that we implement on the back end from the underwriting perspective, we tap into a couple of different systems, IRIX being one of those. For any application that is underwritten, of course, we'll look into an RX database to try to help expedite any of that processing. So like I said, we're fairly nimble, and most underwriting decisions do take place within 24 to 48 hours. Of course, due to those systems, it raises certain flags and really just helps us identify, if we need to dive in a little bit further, maybe do a phone interview, get engaged with the applicant a little bit just to maybe clarify a couple of things, or if it's just a straight pass through, especially if it's guaranteed issue, open enrollment, those go through without a hitch pretty quickly as well. So really, really happy with how all this has been working thus far. And, obviously our clients seem to be quite pleased with it as well. Any day effective date. So that's something that's also unique to us. Most carriers are allowing and or requiring either a first of the month effective date. Some carriers may entertain a 15th or like the middle of the month effective date. We will take clients on any day of the month. So, obviously the strong point to that is, especially right now, as I'm sure a lot of people have experienced, is, people were kind of hanging out. Not many people are retiring at the age of 65 anymore. A lot of people are pushing to that 67, maybe that 68-year-old mark because, of course, they want to get their full Social Security. And in addition to that, maybe they have a spouse that's under the age of 65, and instead of them retiring now and having some crossover, and I'm on one coverage and now my wife's on another coverage, for simplicity, they just wait a couple of years. Then they're both eligible for Medicare. They retire, full Social Security. They both take advantage of their Medicare all at the same time. Excuse me. With COVID, we've seen a lot of that change. We've seen a lot of people getting laid off or furloughed. We've seen a lot of people either just take retirement early. And so if they already have Medicare in place and either of those circumstances have applied to them, as opposed to having to find a short-term plan and take out whatever cost it is just to fill that bridge that gap from when their group coverage ends to when they can get a Medicare plan on the first, or of course Cobra. Hate to go down that path, but if somebody is looking at the barrel of Cobra and $2,000 just to fill a couple of weeks, it's ludicrous. I mean, the amount of money that they could spend in that area. So of course, with us offering any day effective date, somebody that already has Medicare A and B with some sort of a qualifying event, obviously can come in, apply for coverage, and have any day their plan go into effect. Of course, that would be from the signature date after. So if they're signing today, they can have an effective date as of tomorrow. Obviously, if it takes a couple of days to underwrite and or process the application, the effective date will be honored as submitted on the application. So that's really huge. I think it plays to one of our strengths there as just being member-centric. We really want to make sure and try to provide as much flexibility and ease to our clients, to try to help them in the areas that they feel they need to be served in. And then last but not least, I don't think this happens with all states, and I'm hearing more and more that it is kind of starting to become just a market norm. But there are still instances where if somebody's outside of open enrollment, but they maybe have a guaranteed issue situation, of course the states indicate that we cannot underwrite per certain circumstances, and I can appreciate that. And with that, some carriers will implement a 6-month waiting period for pre-existing conditions. So if we went in and I got treated for something, a month ago, and now I'm applying for the coverage, even though I might have guaranteed issue because that was treated within the past 6 months, it's kind of, okay, great. You're in a waiting period, so we won't cover those pre-existing conditions until you clear this waiting period, if you want to say. We don't have any waiting periods provided the application and policy are issued. Of course, your coverage is effective as of the date that was stated on the application form, and your benefits will be in effect for all services needed per Medicare necessity and Medicare's guidance. So some great things that we're doing on the Medicare supplement side to really just, again, provide a strong product, clean platform for the agents as well as for our clients moving forward. Now, if that's not enough, we've got some strong, of course, programs as well. We were running a bonus program from January through June. Saw some great result with that. Always gets people excited, of course. Who isn't motivated by a little extra money? So we decided to continue with our Medicare supplement bonus program. So we're excited to say that from July through December of this year, it is now a $200 bonus per underwritten Medicare supplement policy. There is a qualification of 3 applications per month to qualify. But once you qualify, any underwritten application is paid out at $200 in addition to your commission. If it's an open enrollment application, it would be a $50 bonus. So a little bit less on the open enrollment, but of course, if it's underwritten business, you've got people that are switching, things along those lines. Of course, it would be a $200 bonus there. So hopefully that gets you guys excited. That qualifier of 3 adds an extra $600 to your pocket every month. So of course, it can just continue going up from there. That's a pretty decent amount of money to just throw around there on top of what you're already earning as commission. So we're really excited to be able to extend that to you guys for all your hard work. And then, of course, Active and Fit is a fitness program that we add in here. Now, originally, pre-COVID, this was a feature that you had to pay $25 a month for no matter what. However, with COVID, we found that, of course, people being rather secluded and kind of locked up in their homes, of course, we wanted to do something for our members to help them, shake things up. Of course, you talk about cabin fever, just being a couple of days, maybe a week, just kind of hanging out in your house, can definitely stir some things and make people start going a little weird at times, if you want to say. And so we really wanted to do something we can to again, help our seniors, help our clients, help our members maintain their activity, maintain a positive mental state of mind. And so we rolled out the at-home program, which is at no cost to all of our Medicare supplement members. So just by being a member with National General, you will gain access to over 800 fitness videos, online resources, and tools that you can tap into with your smartphone, a tablet, whatever smart device that they have at their disposal. Of course, the great thing about that is they don't have to be at home if they're RVing, if they're cruising the country or traveling abroad, wherever they may be, they can tap into these resources and stay active and fit while they're at home, no matter where they are. Now, in the event things do start opening up, and gyms start opening up, people start getting more comfortable with getting back out and about. Of course, at that point, they want to actually go to one of the contracted fitness centers. They would have to activate the membership, and at that point, they would have to pay the appropriate $25 monthly fee to activate the gym membership, if you want to say. But without that, if they just wanted to tap into the resources at home, that is available at no cost. So here's a brief overview of, again, just where we were. So again, 3 years ago, all states were gray. This map would be very depressing if we were looking at it 3 years ago. It would be very bland and gray and, not much to talk about. However, in about 3 years or so, this is what we've accomplished. We've accomplished to hit 41 states across the nation. So we're really, really excited about that. That's not to say that, of course, every state is its own unique. I'd love to be able to stand here and say that, in every state we've got a leading rate, and we're just killing it knocking it out of the park in every single market. I think we've got a solid program, we've got a solid product, we've got solid resources and tools to utilize. But of course, as a new carrier, we're hitting the market very strategic. So we may not be the lowest plan in every single market here, but our goal here over the next 5 years is to be the more sustainable. We want to be a more stable player in the market. And in order to be stable, we have to be, of course, selective with what we're taking on and how we're approaching things. And so it just so happens thus far that the way that we've been entering the market and the way that we've been rating some of our plans here, these states specifically, although it's not our intent, it's just kind of a great repercussion, I'll say, of how we're entering the markets. But in these states specifically, we are leading the market with, if not the lowest rate, we're at least within the top 2 or 3. And so again, these are 2 or 3, and we're basing that against, and we're comparing that against the nation's largest carriers. So, some of the top competition like AARP, Aetna, Mutual of Omaha, Humana is primarily who we're comparing to when I say that we're within the top 3, 5, so to say. Sure, there are regional carriers, local carriers that are just in that state or within a specific territory that are likely offering some plans that are just tough to beat. They've got that market pretty much locked up. However, that's not to say that those carriers aren't having 10 to 20% increases year over year or every couple of years, where our focus is to be, again, more of a stable player. Historically, just over the past 5 years or 3 years, we've taken some rate increases in certain spots, but we've also had some decreases in certain spots as well, just because of some of the rate sloping and how we're filing with those rates. And with that, I'd say historically in the past 3 years, our average increase translates to about a 5 to 6% rate increase, where most carriers where they're taking an increase. Same with us. Of course, it's more around the 8 to 12% mark. So again, although in these states here, we do have one of the most competitive rate, if not the lowest rate in that market, especially when you add our 7% roommate discount onto that. These are just some of the areas that we are more competitive. Now, with some of the information that I obtained, wanted to go through this here. Don't know if anybody on the line is working and selling in any of these states here, but definitely wanted to show where we're strongest as of right now. Now we don't have any increases filed for the remainder of the year, so these are all solid. This is strong, and if you want more market specifics for these areas, I can get that information for you pretty quickly. However, wanted to go through and just kind of rate based off of some of the information that I obtained prior to this event. Some of the main states that I guess you guys are currently focused in. And so, with that, out of these 8 states here, Texas is definitely leading the way. We've got some pretty competitive rates in the state of Texas. And when I say competitive, again, there's plenty of people that are competing in this turning 65 business. Of course, trying to get Medicare members from the day that they turn 65, aging into Medicare, and of course, there's just a lot of people playing around in that market. Sure, we've got depending upon where you're located, depending upon the state or location, we may have a decent rate on maybe a Plan G or N. For that turning 65 market, but I think where we start getting stronger is up in those older ages. Around 70 to 80 is where I kind of see our sweet spot. I know it seems a little odd, but again, with people going through these rate increases, hitting the market pretty good at that turning 65 spot, even if people are taking plans at 67, 68, it's likely that once they hit 70, they're going to start getting into double-digit rate increases, and we find that that's just a market where we can tap in and provide them with almost an opportunity to kind of reset that, especially if they have a Plan F. Plan F obviously isn't available anymore unless they had Medicare prior to January 2020. So of course, there's now people that are looking to kind of shop. They've had their plan for quite some time now. Where now they're looking to make a change, and we want to try to be that carrier where we can help them maintain the coverage that they're used to, the coverage that they've had, and grown to love, of course. And maybe if anything, just kind of reset their premium or reduce that and put a little money back into their pocket. So that's kind of how we're looking at things here. Texas, of course, I think stacks up as probably the most opportunity here in these 8 states. We have North Carolina with a close second. We've got Florida coming in at third. Florida is just a hard market. It's really tough to beat. It's a very competitive market on top of that, not just with the Medicare supplement space, but also in comparison with Medicare Advantage as well. So Florida, I am just going to be honest and call it that it's not one of our most competitive states, but we still look pretty good out there. Of course, South Carolina looks good for a Plan G. Georgia is looking pretty good with a G and an N. And then, of course, you get into Ohio. We're probably going to be, Plan N carrier in that area unless somebody's looking at F and G, and they're just adamant that that's what they want. And then, of course, Louisiana and Mississippi are kind of rounding out the bottom there. Now, here's a little illustrative of just kind of what those states look like. Now, again, our intent here specifically, I did analysis with a 67-year-old as well as a 73-year-old. Sure, here for Plan F with Texas, we're looking pretty good. We're only $3 off from the lowest carrier. Again, this was done with no household discount added or roommate discount. So if you're looking at a 67-year-old, 68-year-old with a Plan F, or looking for a Plan F, maybe they're looking to switch. They've had Medicare since a couple of years back. It inadvertently went into effect while they were working, while they still had group insurance, and maybe they are in that situation where they just lost their group coverage or decided to retire, and now they're looking at getting their Medicare coverage. If you throw that roommate discount on here, obviously the roommate discount is going to eat up that $3 difference, where now we're automatically in the top tier there. Same thing on a 73-year-old. Plan F definitely would be a strong option for them. Again, you take this 194, 7% right off the top puts us into that top contention. So we definitely have some strong rates here in Texas. excuse me, specifically on the Plan F. But we aren't too bad on the G as well. We're only $1 off here, and of course, within about $9 on a 67-year-old there. So again, as you can tell, I'm not going to go through every single instance or opportunity here, but we definitely are competitive, especially when you can throw that roommate discount on there. Now, the great part about it is, again, even though this is how we look right now, our strategy is to be the more sustainable. So we're doing a lot of different things to kind of do some age banding in certain areas, of course, along with some sloping and looking at even demographics, right, to try to separate rural versus downtown or more metropolitan areas, higher utilizers where there's access of care, where there isn't. We're really getting granular with how we're starting to file, and it's really translating to some great savings to those in certain pockets. We'll see more of that kind of coming out over the next year, but it's just additional things that we're doing to keep our rates down as stable as possible. And of course, being a fairly new carrier, that's on the market, it's safe to say that, we've got a clean block, especially for that Plan F business, to just help them, again, reset their rates down to a more affordable option. And if they have an F and they're looking to even save some more money, especially if they're just going through underwritten, flip them to a G. We're finding that there's a lot of that going on, and they're definitely putting a lot of money back in people's pockets. So I'm not going to go through every single state specifically, but Texas wanted to show that there. North Carolina, we're looking okay. We're still within about $20 there, $15-$20 of the top there. Again, you throw the roommate discount in there, it just kind of adds to that. Again, not intending to necessarily be the lowest carrier in every single market, but at least a competitor. We're still in that top there. We still look decent. And again, it's when you're talking to your clients, it's sure, they traditionally are inclined to just go with the lowest plan. However, when it's close and look, from a carrier perspective, sure, Aetna, Humana, these are large names. Most people know them. They recognize it. Well, hey, National General, they're a great company. They have great customer service. They're responsive. They're helpful, and they're going to be a more sustainable player. The way that they're doing things, we really appreciate that. And the attention that they're giving to our clients, we really appreciate that. So, even though this is a couple of dollars more, over the long run, if you think about it, over the 3 to 5, which is the average kind of expectancy of a Medicare supplement client, within that 3 to 5 years, we fare to be the more stable carrier where, sure, we're still going to go through some market increases year over year. It's kind of just the way things go. It's market trend, of course. Household, rate increases, with, of course, just the market trends. But at least it's going to be respectable. There was a carrier out in California that took a 24% rate increase for September 1. That's ludicrous, and we definitely do not want to be that carrier. So we're doing everything we can to be a more sustainable one, and if that means that we're going to charge a couple of more dollars up front, so be it. But your clients will definitely see the value in that in the second and or third years, as the increases, if any at all, are hopefully to be a lot more, I'll say, affordable and or palatable, if you want to say.
And
here's
Craig,
an overview of Florida.
And Craig, if I could just real quick, I want to add on how important that is. I know these guys out there that are listening in today have just recently had this. And you mentioned some of those carriers, your Aetnas, your Mutual of Omaha. Yeah, they may have some really low rates right now. But how many of us have had a client that signed on their policy 2 years ago, and then all of a sudden they come out with this new product? But the problem is the product that the people were on 2 years ago is now not even available anymore, and those premiums, they've just jacked up so high that they're basically forcing you off. So yeah, of course it's real bright and shiny when it's brand new, but heck, if they keep coming out with these new different divisions, whatever they want to call it, whether it's American Continental or Aetna Life and Health or whatever it is, or Mutual of Omaha, that too. I mean, they just go up so high. It's just that you have to keep that in mind.
That's 100% right. Yeah. No, thanks for echoing that, Micah, because it's true. I mean, look at, I mean, you mentioned Mutual of Omaha specifically. They come out with a new charter every 2 years, and it's like they're just rewrapping and rewrapping and rewrapping. And sure, that's great. Aetna did that kind of to themselves with the Exendo brand this year. It's pretty interesting. Why would you compete with yourself? But to your point, it's a way that they can kind of rewrap it. They can refile under something that's cleaner, but nonetheless, even though they're able to kind of throw this out there with with this new rate or this rechartering, let's say, yeah, it's great for maybe a year or two, but then of course they start taking those same rate increases because now their block is just saturated with all of this, and now they have to do what they've got to do from a rewriting perspective. And now they're refiling, and that's a 15% increase or a 20% increase, or you know what? Shoot, we're going to have to pull out of this market because we just can't sustain these rates with this. I'll say block or with this much risk on our pool. So again, our play, and I think we've kind of shown that over the past 3 years that we are here to stay. And yeah, we want to be competitive, but we also want to be stable. And that's the biggest thing right now for us, is just maintaining these next few years and showing that we will be sustainable in the market. We're here to stay. Yeah, again, we may not be the lowest, but a couple of dollars difference, I'm sure you guys can overcome that. You guys are great salespeople. You've been doing this for a while, and that's for a reason, because, look, you've got people that trust you. They rely on you to give them accurate and good, solid feedback. And, sure, this carrier might have the lowest premium in the area, but you know what? I would be hesitant of that, because in 2 years, I almost would suspect that plan is going to have a 15 to 20% rate increase. Whereas this one, sure, it might be a couple of dollars more, but they've proven to be more sustainable. Obviously that's just going to translate well with your clients as well. So, again, that's kind of our play, and that's what I'm sticking to. So, moving on here for South Carolina, still we're not terrible. We're not, way out there, but just not as competitive as we are in some of the other areas. Georgia is fairly decent too, but again, 68 to 73, that's going to be kind of the target there. If you go right in the middle at 70, I think we look a little bit more attractive. So if you're working with clients in that 70 age range, that's maybe a good time to catch them there as well. But again, keeping in mind that this doesn't show the household discount. So if we throw the household discount on there, it definitely puts us in a little bit more competitive area. I know it's hard to eat up $30, but nonetheless, that definitely would help in those areas as well. Ohio's still decent. Again, it's kind of the same mix. Again, not the lowest, but we're still in the mix amongst the largest carriers here. And at least that we're not going to be running those up the flag here anytime soon. Mississippi's still fairly decent as well. And then, of course, Louisiana has some opportunity, but nonetheless, we've got our pockets, and we definitely have, some areas. I'd say Plan G is probably going to be the most competitive in those areas for Louisiana. So that's kind of just an overview of our Medicare supplement, kind of where we're at, what we're looking at, and again, how we kind of align with where you guys maybe are located now. But again, if there's other opportunities in other states there, definitely. If you're selling as non-resident in some of those other markets, New Mexico, California, Missouri, Oregon, where especially there's the anniversary rule and or the birthday rule, those are year-long opportunities where those clients can make those changes, whether it's during their anniversary month or their birthday month, to something that's more affordable for them. And we definitely have a strong play in those areas for sure. So let's talk a little bit about some new senior products here. So I'm really, really excited about this. We've been talking about this since at least the beginning of the year, and it's finally come to fruition. So as of August 27th, we have launched our dental, vision, and hearing plan in Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, and Illinois. So we now currently have 3 different dental, vision, and hearing. Well, it's a dental, vision, hearing plan. The dental and hearing are bundled together. We have 3 different levels of plans. The hearing is more of a discount program that's embedded into the dental, but it's still giving some great value and some great discounts on those hearing benefits. And then we've got an optional vision plan that they can add. We'll have 2 different levels there. Of course, a low and a high, if you want to say, respectively priced. And then, of course, they can add those together and get some great benefits and savings. So, in all honesty, it's a way of showing, that not only are we here to stay on the Medicare supplement side, but we recognize that there's a huge amount of opportunity in the senior space, and by rounding out our portfolio and being able to offer services to all ages in that senior market, anywhere from 55 plus. Of course, is where we want to be. We definitely want to strengthen that area and keep building on that. And of course, hoping that you guys can help us with that in certain areas, of course. So let's take a look at the dental vision hearing. So we'll have, again, like I said, the 3 levels. The kind of lowest one here, entry level, someone looking for maybe just your routine care and services. This is, a very competitively priced program that'll just kind of give those bare benefits, if you want to say. Level 2 is going to be your mid-level, again, appropriately priced. I'll show you some examples of that here in just a little bit. And then, of course, level 3 is really the plan that I'd say is going to be turning heads. All programs provide the preventative services, all give basic services from day one. Okay, so there's no waiting period on our dental and vision coverages. These benefits are all available to the member as of day one that their policy is issued. So it's not like they can go in and get their teeth cleaned and an oral exam or something like that, and now have a 6-month waiting period if they needed a cavity filled or something else along those lines. Again, all these services are available as of day one to your clients. So level 1, of course, we'll cover those basic services, etc. But where we're really going to see a level 2 and level 3 start to shine is on the major services, dentures, and even on implants. So taking into consideration, this is available from day one. So if they needed any sort of major services, root canal, caps, crowns, things along those lines, that's covered as of day one at 25%. Dentures are covered from day one at 25%, and even implants. So if they needed something, again, way major, of course, those services are available from day one with no waiting period. Of course, they would have to satisfy their deductible, but once that's met, of course, this is the benefit they would see thereafter. Now, internally, we like to refer to it as the double up dental. Didn't really go over well with marketing, so we just call it the NatGen DVH. But with the double up, the reason being is first year, it's day one, of course, 25%. In that second year, it's going to jump up to 50% coverage there. So it doubles up, if you want to say. And that's the same thing with the annual maximums. Of course, first year, $750 respectively, second year, $15. $1,000, $2,000, $15,000, $3,000 respectively as well. So again, that's really going to do a lot of things out there. I know there's one other carrier that's got like a $2,000 maximum. However, there are some waiting periods, and their network I don't believe is as strong as the network that we're using here. So just a couple of things that separate us from some of the competition in the area is just having a strong network on here, having that day one coverage for virtually anything that they would need. So the dental network, we are using the Aetna dental network, which is pretty awesome. That gives access to about 90,000 providers across the nation. Of course, we're finding an average discount of around 40%, 43% on that, if you want to say. And it is a true PPO, so they can go to in-network or out-of-network dentists and see similar, if not the same, amount of savings, whether it's in or out of network. So definitely some strong there. One point that I like to throw out here is even Aetna isn't using their Aetna network. It's quite interesting. They actually utilize a Carrington network. So with this, we find that we're with, at least since we've been open, we're finding that a lot of individuals are coming off of group programs. They have an Aetna dental plan through their employer. Now they are getting Medicare and they want to get a dental plan with them, and they're like, well, I've got Aetna, so I'm going to go with Aetna again. Well, Aetna in the Medicare space or in the senior market is using that Carrington network, not their Aetna network. And so we're seeing that a lot of people are coming over to us saying, wow, I can keep my dentist. That's fantastic. I wasn't able to do that on this one. So just another selling point that, of course, strong network, recognizable, likely that they'll be able to keep their same dentist is very high here with us. So to look at some of the vision program benefits, eye exams every 12 months, I think that's pretty standard amongst most plans these days. Cost, 15, 10 respectively. Again, I think it's competitive. It's definitely within the realm of what other people are offering. 24 months, for frames allowance, things like that, again, is pretty standard. 12 months is great. So this, level 2 definitely gives a little bit more value. And having a $200 allowance that they can use every year on, again, our level 2 plan definitely stands out just a little bit. It's a little bit above the market norm, so that's something that we're really excited to be able to bring to the table. Of course, lenses coverage as well, great services there, for their frames and their lenses. Some of the additional areas that our vision program. Oh, whoa! I think I must have skipped the page. I'm sorry, or maybe I just put it down the road here. But in any event, sorry about that, guys. So with the Vision Network that we're using, it's a VSIS. So a VSIS taps in and harnesses Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart, JCPenney. I'd say most of the top vision providers across the nation are definitely leveraged here. So again, them being able to go somewhere that they're comfortable with, familiar with, they would likely be able to continue doing so and still get some great benefits there. So here's some of the hearing discounts that are included in the plan. Without going into every single thing here, diagnostic, average savings of 40%, average savings of 62% if they're getting any sort of hearing devices, other things updated that they might need just brought up to current. Other benefits, to get some follow-up care, some batteries, other things like that with a strong warranty program for any losses or repairs or damages that they might incur. Now, the really cool thing that I like about the hearing option is Amplifon. Amplifon gives access to almost 6,000 providers across the nation. That's a fairly stable, strong network of hearing providers. But the really cool thing with Amplifon is that they don't have what most would refer to as a preferred brand, if you want to say. They really go through, and if again, it's a discount program. So whoever your client might currently be using, that they like, enjoy, they're comfortable with it, and that's what they want to keep. Amplifon will allow that. They're not going to require them to switch brands and switch everything over just so that way they can utilize the service. Again, Amplifon and the providers that they work with within that network will allow them to keep what they have and obviously just service it and or replace whatever they're comfortable with those discounted rates. So again, pretty good opportunity there, even though it's just a discount program. So some sample rates for the dental program. So for a 55 to 64-year-old in Florida, again, respectively, Plan 1, it's like that entry level, just kind of gets them in the door, gives them some decent preventative services with some discounts in certain areas. And even on Plan 3, if they're looking at $48 a month, that's great. I mean, that's an awesome rate for being able to have first dollar coverage for dentures, implants, things along those lines. Again, respectively, for a 65 or older, those amounts go up just a little bit. But if you're working with somebody that's in this age range of, let's say they're 64, they haven't quite turned 65 yet, and you're working with them to get them enrolled into a Medicare supplement program, and you're doing that application, maybe 3 months prior to their effective date, at least a couple of months prior, like most people do. Write that dental program to be effective tomorrow or the first of the following month, and therefore their dental coverage will go into effect at a 64-year-old rate. And then, of course, their Medicare supplement plan will go into effect a couple of months thereafter when, of course, they're eligible for their Medicare. The only reason I say that is by getting them in at the 64-year-old rate, we will honor that 64-year-old rate, and therefore they won't jump up automatically to the 65-year-old rate when they turn 65. It'll just go up, annually with any market trends or increases that the plan has as a whole. So some great opportunity to just kind of, hate to say it, but play the game a little bit and get their dental program to start just a little bit earlier than their med sup so they can get, take advantage of just a slightly lower rate. Now, you'll also see here a preferred discount. So with our rollout in September, that rollout in September will be for Kansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Missouri, and Oklahoma. With that rollout around September 25th, we're going to be offering some preferred discounts. So preferred discounts could be applied to individuals that are able to answer questions about, if they've had a cap, a crown, a root canal, extraction, more major services in the past 12 months. If they answer that question no, we'll give them a 10% discount off their premium. So we're really excited to be able to offer that to anybody that, of course, meets that criteria. And then shooting for about Q1 of next year, we are going to be making some changes and some updates to different portals and some of our systems here to try to streamline everything to make it as simple and easy for everybody as possible. But by doing so, is also going to add the opportunity to have some additional discounts like bundling. So if somebody's getting our Medicare supplement program and they're also interested in enrolling into our NatGen DVH coverage, they'll get an additional 10% discount as well. So there's the potential that they can get up to 20% off of their monthly rate in the dental plan just by simply enrolling into our NatGen Medicare supplement program, as well as having good oral hygiene. So definitely some things to come here. We'll keep you apprised of additional information as all that drops. But again, these benefits are now live as of August 27th. And at the end of September, we'll be live for Kansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Missouri, and Oklahoma. So here's an overview of kind of what those rates are going to look like for Georgia. Still very good, very competitive, looking really, really strong in these markets. Next year, of course, we're looking at doing some additional options just, again, to further segment and just show our support in the senior space and continue to expand on our offerings in the senior market. So Q1 next year, we're looking at offering a senior limited medical plan. This will be kind of a niche offering for those that either don't qualify for Medicare, maybe they haven't met the requirements yet, or maybe they're just under the age of 65 and just haven't fully turned 65 and became eligible yet. So they're waiting. They've got a few months before that happens. And again, this would be a great opportunity or a great program that would be fairly reasonably priced and would give some basic benefits to really just kind of help fill that gap until they're eligible for Medicare. Now, additionally, we're also looking at a hospital indemnity plan that would be available hopefully by Q2. We're looking to launch this next year, where, again, if you're familiar with like an AFLAC style plan, things like that, would provide with, of course, just some static plan benefits. They go in for whatever services that they need, pay whatever their program respectively would charge for those services. They get the claims, file it with the carrier, and then, of course, we'll process that and issue and pay them out cash for whatever those services are. So again, more to come on those as we get closer to launching that. But again, just really wanted to throw this out there that, look, we're really, really excited about the senior market. We are dedicated to seeing the senior market grow and supporting that in whatever way we can. And, of course, these are the plans that individuals want. These are the plans that help the senior population feel more secure and comfortable with their carrier. And, again, that's what insurance is all about, is providing peace of mind. Sure, it can be great coverage, but they want to make sure that it's going to be sustainable. It's not just going to pull a bait and switch on them. And, of course, is going to continue to maintain when they need it most. And we're definitely going to be that player for you. So quoting and enrollment, if any of you are already contracted with National General, of course, our contract is incumbent of everything. So if you're selling our short-term or ancillary products and you became contracted with us, of course, you're able to sell those products wherever you are licensed to do so. You've also likely already received information on our Medicare supplement products. At the very least, you might have received access via email to a platform called Triad. So Triad is what we use as our Medicare supplement online quoting tool, as well as the e-application portal. And we allow for, of course, Medicare supplement programs. They can complete applications via voice signature. They can complete applications via the electronic signature, via DocuSign, or the mother's maiden name signature. Or, of course, if you're still just doing things old school, or if your client prefers to, get that hold and feel of that paper and smell the paper and likes to write their name in there and all the information in, by all means, you can print off paper applications through our Triad portal as well. Now, here's what that Triad portal, the login screen would look like. Again, if you haven't received it, but you are already contracted, make a note of this website here. Of course, you can follow up with myself or, of course, anybody hereafter at your GA or upline for assistance if needed. But essentially, you go in here. If you have logged in, I'm sure you have your information stored. If you haven't, then I would urge you to just simply click on I forgot my password. It's very easy. You go through a couple of different steps. Your user ID is going to be your current national health insurance ID number. So if that writing number was 123456, just put an 8 in front of that. So therefore, your user ID for our Medicare portal would be 8123456. Enter your email, hit submit. It'll send you a verification code. Once you get that, you enter that in. It'll ask you to create your new password, and now you're into the quoting portal. Again, it's very simple, pretty straightforward and simplistic. Not going to go through all the different steps of it just for timing here, but we can definitely get a little bit more granular and do some demos down the road if you need. But in essence, once you've gone through and completed all the different steps of the application running a quote, here's an overview of those signature options. So again, you can do the DocuSign via email, DocuSign in person, or of course they can select the mother's maiden name signature. Again, it's just that simple. Once you've clicked and selected that option, another page or another drop down will open up. And of course, if it was the mother's maiden name, that's where you would put that in. Simply hit submit, and that application is off and being processed. Now, for the dental, vision, and hearing, this is going to be housed currently through our Coverage Builder platform. So if you're already writing our under 65 short-term plans, ancillary plans, you name it, I'm sure you're familiar with Coverage Builder. If you're not, you can come in here to natgenhealth.com under Brokers, Agent Tools, and you can get started here. Once you log in or once you get into this section, you'll scroll down to the page, look for Coverage Builder, click on that, and then, of course, it'll bring you to this. Now, again, if you've already logged in here, your information is likely already going to be stored. If not, you would just click on or just put in your brokers or your NPN as well as your last name and hit continue, and then, of course, it'll set up your account. Once you're in there, by simply entering a zip code and hitting next, entering a date of birth, gender, and some additional demographic information will generate your quote. And then, of course, you'll see dental there. You can select it. It's got a couple of different things. You can bundle it with the vision. You'll have dental, vision at the varying levels, and, of course, at the varying rates as well. So it's very straightforward, very simple and easy, and really just wanted, we kind of pride ourselves on keeping things as easy as possible. Now, we were working towards combining and having a combined platform for all of our senior products to just, again, streamline and make things easier for you guys as the agents. Unfortunately, it got pushed back, obviously, with COVID. I'm sure most people are experiencing that. A lot of things are just delayed and or pushed back because of just the nature of everything going on. And so with that, they gave us a date of end of September, beginning of October as being able to launch that new platform. And our hearts dropped. Of course, we had to pull the plug on that pretty quick, or at least put a hold on it, because there's no way we're going to launch a new platform right at the beginning of the most busiest time of the year for everybody. So unfortunately, the new platform won't be available until Q1. So like January, said mid-January or so, hopefully February at the latest. We'll have a new platform for MedSup, Senior DVH, as well as our other senior ancillary products. So we'll keep you informed as additional information comes available and access to all of those tools come out. But again, by being contracted, you'll be in the loop with us. Of course, it's very simple to get contracts. If you're not already with us, you can reach out to Messer. They can get you set up with contracts through them. And basically, once you get a link, you click on it, complete the contracting paperwork. Once that's submitted, within 24 to 48 hours, you'll get an email welcoming you from us. Of course, that email will have some additional instructions on how you can log in, set up your portal, your agent back office where you can access your clients, your policies, all of those things to keep you informed of your business. And then, of course, we add you into our mail distribution, so that way any updates, changes, new trainings, things like that we have come out that are pertinent and helpful for these new products as we start launching them. Of course, you'll get those notifications for trainings and so forth. Definitely feel free to let us know if there's anything that we can help you out with. As Michael was saying earlier, we pride ourselves on being available, accessible, and as helpful as we can, not just to our agents, but to your clients as well. So if there's anything that we could do to remove roadblocks, again, we've gotten this far by feedback and help with our agents and working very closely with our agents. Again, if there's something that you feel we could be doing better, feel free to let us know. We'll take that to the table, see what makes sense, and see how we can overcome that and or help you overcome that to just help things keep moving forward. So again, I hope this information was helpful. I hope this is exciting, but if there's any additional questions, concerns, or any follow-up questions hereafter, here's all my contact information. Of course, feel free to either shoot me an email or you can give me a call. If I don't answer, just leave me a message. I'll definitely get back with you. However, email is definitely easy to get things started. And then, of course, we can go from there and schedule a time if we need to dive in a little bit further. But that's pretty much it. I thank you guys all for your time and your attentiveness, and I hope the information was informative and eye-opening, and I hope it's exciting. And I hope you guys are as excited as we are to be able to bring this out to the market to you guys. So, Micah, that's all I got. But thank you very much for allowing me the time. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And Craig, that was a lot of great information. I really appreciate you sharing all of that with us. Basically, just to summarize what I got out of this, stability is going to be the number one thing. And you got to remember what kind of clientele you're dealing with. You're dealing with people that want med subs. Why do people want med subs? Because they want the peace of mind to know they don't have to deal with anything later on. Otherwise, you go to a Med Advantage plan, or something like that. So the sell of value is there right off the bat. So if you could just say, look, we can put you in a plan. You don't have to worry about it. If you're okay with the premiums now, chances are you're going to be okay with the premiums later because it's just not that large of an increase, and you can just kind of go on your own way. So plus with the variety of different products, the ease of submitting the business. You mentioned that you're a technology company, which to me means that you're going to try to keep it as simple as possible, kind of make a nice streamlined process so that agents can actually get through it, which is awesome. Exactly what we're looking for. So
exactly.
and plus having the competitive rates as you do already, and I'll tell you that, and this is all not even including the possibility of a partnership with Nationwide, and who knows what kind of possibilities those can bring, because I know that they have a lot of captive products that only their captive agents can use. Where if they could open that up on another platform, that could even be really exciting. So lots of things that currently and to come, it sounds like.
Exactly, and yeah, and with Allstate, it's something where we're everything's moving forward. We're looking really good with that, and again, one of the biggest things is as to why Allstate was looking to acquire us is because of how we approach the industry, especially in the individual agent space, independent agents. Sure, we've got great relationships in a lot of different areas, but because of how we approach and support the independent agents is what got their attention. And then, of course, everything we're doing in the under 65, as well as especially now in the Medicare space. A lot's kind of changing. We're in this world of flux right now. But the one thing that remains consistent is, the Medicare population. I mean, we're looking at about a lot of people like to throw the numbers of 10,000 people turning 65 every single day right now. So I'm sure that you have likely heard that being thrown around. I like to look at it more of 10,000 people taking advantage of Medicare or enrolling into Medicare every day right now, if not more. Because if they're turning 65, they're likely still working. We're seeing that shift, or where most people are retiring at 67, 68. But nonetheless, there's still about 10,000 people that are enrolling into Medicare every single day, and that's just opportunity to be had. Not to mention with some of the changes coming up here, likely within the next 10 years, the age or that baby boomer population will, exceed those that are, under the age of 18. So we'll have kind of the shift where there are more people needing care than there are to provide it. And so we definitely want to be, of course, a carrier that is dedicated to that senior space, so we can help those seniors have affordable coverage in the areas that they need, and give them the protections that they're looking for. Because again, that's what insurance is all about, right? You never know what's going to happen tomorrow, and but making sure that you at least have the coverage that you need, or that you feel gives you that comfort, or your family that comfort, is definitely going to be paramount. So that's where we're looking to play.
And Craig, just to be perfectly clear, we kind of want to understand if an agent is already appointed with National General on the short-term medical side, do they have to do anything to add the Med Sup? Is there another contract that they have to complete?
Not at all. No, it's all under one contract. Now, we'll have to take a look at that. Of course, they should be able to access the Triad portal, like I was stating earlier. The only caveat to that is if somebody is writing only group business. So let's say they might be contracted with us to only write group business with us. It's likely that group contract did not include the under 65 / Medicare agreement in it as well. So if that's the case, we just have to get a new contract out, that would extend to the under 65 and Medicare products. But again, to your exact question, if they are already writing the under 65 short-term and ancillary, they should already have the Medicare supplement and should be able to just come in here, click on I forgot my password, enter their writing number with a number 8 in front of it here, and follow those steps, and they should gain access. If there's any problems in doing so, here's my info again. Give me a call, shoot me an email, and I'll be more than happy to coordinate and assist in making sure that we can gain you access.
Wonderful. So all of you guys that are out there actively writing those short-term medical dental plans and the hospital indemnity plans, you don't even have to do anything. You're already good to go as far as being able to market the Med Sup products. So that's just another ease of doing business, which is what I'm all about. So
that's right,
guys.
That's right.
I think that's basically all the questions that I see here. Obviously, that you put your direct contact information. We here at Messer Financial are here to help you. And at the end of the day, guys, just remember, this is truly a partnership. Our success depends on your success. So it really does us no good to just contract you and just throw you out there to the wolves and not have you be a success yourself. So use us as much as you possibly can. We are here to help. There's always somebody here in our office Monday through Friday from Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5, and then on Fridays from 8 to 4. So we look forward to continue supporting you. Craig, did you or Phil, did you want to have any last words?
I would just like to say, go ahead, Craig. You go ahead, sir.
No. Honestly, I was just going to say thank you guys for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss. If I can help in any way, let me know. And I just wanted to wish everybody a great rest of the day and be safe and healthy out there.
Yeah, and thank you for your under 65 business, and thanks for being with us today, everybody. We really appreciate you.
And keep an eye out, too. We are doing another webinar with National General regarding the under 65 products. We haven't quite set the day yet, but there will be an email going out about it. So keep an eye out in your email. And I can say that it will be the week of October 5th. So somewhere in that week, we will be doing another one, and there will be notifications sent out about that. So once again, thank you, everyone. Any questions, concerns, anything, feel free to contact us, and we look forward to earning your business. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Micah. Bye now.
Yeah, thanks, Micah. Have a great day, guys.
Yep.